The Lion King's Last Stand, when the alpha fights for his cubs, emotional wild battle, real savanna drama. Under Africa's blazing sun, where the grasslands seem to whisper legends and every shadow holds a secret, a mighty lion stood guard over the only thing he loved more than life, his cubs. Mansa, the undisputed king of the Mwitu Plains, had ruled with unmatched strength. His mane, thick and dark like storm clouds, marked the many battles he'd fought to keep his kingdom safe. He was a symbol of wild royalty, feared and respected. But even kings are hunted. Mansa had sensed a shift. The scent of change hung heavy in the air. It came with the dry wind, with the circling vultures, and with the uneasy silence of the herd animals. Something, or someone, was coming. Deep in a hidden thicket, his queen Zuri lay curled around 3 tiny cubs. Their squeaks were innocent, their eyes full of wonder, oblivious to the danger stalking their world. But Zuri knew, and Mansa knew. The wild was not a nursery. It was a battlefield. 3 rogue lions had entered Mwitu, young, brutal, ambitious. They smelled the cubs. They knew what that meant. Take out Mansa, eliminate the cubs, claim the territory, and the pride. That's how lion kingdoms fall. That's how new kings rise. But Mansa was no ordinary king. He roared, not once, but 3 times. Each roar thundered across the plains like a war cry, shaking the acacia trees, sending flocks of birds into the sky. It was not just a warning, it was a challenge. The rogues heard it. They came at night, under a blood moon. Zuri moved the cubs to a cave hidden by thorns and rocks. It was their last safe place. Mansa stood at the mouth of the den, eyes burning like fire, his massive frame casting a shadow longer than fear. And then, they came. 3 against 1. The rogues surrounded him, their growls low like drums of war. The air cracked with tension, and then they charged. What happened next was raw nature, unfiltered, untamed. Claws flashed, blood sprayed, dust erupted into the air. Mansa lunged like a lion possessed. He struck the first rogue in the chest, sending him tumbling. The second bit deep into his leg, but Mansa spun, slamming him to the ground. The third rogue climbed onto Mansa's back. Zuri watched in horror, her body trembling. The cubs whimpered, but Mansa roared again. This time the sound was different. This time the savanna went silent. With a burst of primal fury, Mansa rose to his full height and slammed his back into a tree, crushing the rogue behind him. He turned, blood pouring from his wounds, and drove the others back. They circled, confused. The king was not falling. The king was rising. The battle raged until dawn. By sunrise, 2 rogues had fled. The third lay broken in the dirt. Mansa stood, battered, bleeding, but unbroken. He limped back to the den, each step a story of strength. Zuri pressed her head against his chest. The cubs crawled over his paws, unaware they had just witnessed a war for their future. That day, the Mwitu Plains had 1 king. That day, the world learned why lions are called kings of the wild. That day, Mansa became a legend,